Ask yourself, what do you say to yourself when things go wrong? How do you talk to yourself? Is it the same way you would talk to a friend or your child or someone that you loved and cared about? And if it's not, that's where you need to begin. Never talk to yourself in a way that you wouldn't talk to someone else that you love. Hi, my friend. Welcome to the Bounce Back Black Woman podcast. I'm Dell, and I've overcome some of the most devastating heartbreaks I could ever have imagined. Do you find yourself stuck in sadness after a broken heart, asking God, why me? Well, I'm here to help women just like you heal and build the resilience to overcome life's greatest hurts. If you long for joy and confidence again, this podcast is for you. So grab your headphones and those heartbreaks. Let's talk. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Bounce Back Black Woman. Today, we're going to be talking about something that we don't always want to admit out loud. And that is this. After everything falls apart, the relationship, or the job, the dream, or the plan, sometimes the hardest thing to rebuild isn't the life that you had or the life that you thought you would have. Sometimes it's trust in yourself that's hard to rebuild. And you might be second guessing everything, asking yourself questions like, how did I not see that coming? Or what's wrong with me? Or why didn't I listen to my gut? And sometimes you even ask, am I even capable of making good decisions anymore? And if you're there, or if you've been there, you are not alone. Because I've been there too, my friend. I've been there too. And so in this episode, we're going to explore 3 powerful ways to begin trusting yourself again. And not from a place of perfection, like you're never going to make a bad decision again, but from a place of grace and a place of growth. So here's why this matters. So most of you know I'm a coach, and I'm also certified as an energy leadership master practitioner. And one of the things that I see over and over again in talking about energy, especially in women, is how quickly we turn on ourselves after something painful. We go inward with our energy, but not in a healing type of way. And we start operating from what I call survival energy, where everything feels tense. Everything feels a little closed off or negative and reactive. The core thought at this level of energy is victim mentality. And the core feeling or emotion is apathy. And sometimes, because of those thoughts and those emotions, before we realize it, we start playing small, or we start staying quiet, or we start giving away our voice. But here's the truth. Self-trust is not about always getting it right. It's about learning from what went wrong without making it your entire identity. And so today, I'm going to walk you through 3 ways to rebuild that muscle so that you can start showing up as the truest and most grace-filled version of yourself, even after the fallout. So, all right, friend, let's break this down with 3 coaching tools that I've used to help others rebuild their self-trust. The first one, self-awareness. And that means that you need to notice your default thoughts. So after something hard, your inner voice might get mean with you, and it might start to beat you up. You might start thinking thoughts like, I always mess things up. Or no one's ever going to take me seriously again. And sometimes it's I should have known better. And if any of those sound familiar, those are what's called level 1 and level 2 energy. And it's survival mode talking. And my friend, the first step to rebuilding trust with yourself is noticing that voice without accepting it. Ask yourself, what do you say to yourself when things go wrong? How do you talk to yourself? Is it the same way you would talk to a friend or your child or someone that you loved and cared about? And if it's not, that's where you need to begin. Never talk to yourself in a way that you wouldn't talk to someone else that you love. The next one, intentional shifts. All you need to do is make one aligned choice at a time. You don't have to start with everything, because self-trust isn't about taking big leaps. It's about small baby steps and small moments where you find yourself saying, "No, I'm not available for that." Or, "Yes, I actually do want more than this." Or even, "I'm going to try, even if it makes me nervous." And friend, every time you make a choice that reflects your actual values and not your fear, your brain starts to believe you again. And that is where trust with yourself is rebuilt. Okay, the third one, stay curious and trade your judgment for curiosity. Instead of beating yourself up with phrases like, "How could I let that happen?" Or "How could I be so stupid?" Or "so gullible?" And you know all the variations. I know all the variations. Try this instead. What was I believing at the time that felt true? Or what did I need that I wasn't giving myself that caused me to fall for what someone else was offering? When you stay curious, it creates room for healing, where judgment closes the door to healing. The more curious you get, the more compassionate you become with yourself, and the safer it becomes to be you again. So friend, here are 2 scriptures that can help you in this journey. The first one comes from Isaiah 30:21. And you know that I love that New Living Translation. It reads this way: "And you will hear a voice say, 'This is the way, turn around and walk here.'" And 2 Timothy 1:7 reads this: "For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline." When you find yourself beating yourself up for bad choices or decisions, I want you to turn to those 2 scriptures and read them out loud. They will teach you to give yourself grace. They ground us in God's love for us and remind us to treat ourselves the same way He treats us, with kindness and patience and love. And it will stop you from beating yourself up and keep you from spiraling into a place of self-judgment. Now you might ask, why does this hurt so? Friend, this hurts so much because you trusted someone or something or some version of the future that didn't pan out. And likely you felt like you failed, or like you were foolish, or like your intuition led you wrong. But I want you to hear me. Just because it ended doesn't mean you were wrong to hope. It means that you are human. And now you're being invited to hope again, and this time with stronger roots. In the previous episode, I talked a lot about a decision that I made, one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life. And I spiraled into beating myself up over having been so short-sighted and so impetuous and not trusting my instinct and not doing my due diligence. And that was almost worse than the decision that I made in the first place. And God had to get a hold of me and say, I don't know who you are anymore. You've got to stop beating yourself up and look at this as an opportunity to grow. And I learned firsthand what living with level 1 and level 2 energy looked like. Apathy, fear of making decisions, not trusting myself, beating myself up, wanting to shrink away into a tiny ball. I was so embarrassed and so ashamed and so afraid of messing up again. And I had to figure out how to take my power back, the power that comes from the God who loves me throughout that entire valley. And you can do the same, my friend. You can do the same. So here's the takeaway. Self-trust doesn't come from being flawless or perfect. It comes from repeated proof that you are safe with yourself, even in the messy middle, that you are safe to give yourself grace when you make a mistake or a bad decision. So here's the journal prompt for you, my friend. Where have I stopped trusting myself? And what is one small decision that I can make this week that reflects who I truly am? If you sit with that prompt and you let yourself begin to write, you might be amazed at what comes up for you. You might be amazed at all of the decisions that you've been holding back on because you no longer trust yourself to make the right decision. So I want to hear what comes up for you. I want you to send me an email at hello@bouncebackblackwoman.com or leave a review with your one big takeaway from that prompt. However you do it, I want to hear from you. And if this episode stirred something in you, good. That means that you're ready to start shifting. That means that you're ready to start bouncing back. The easiest first step you can take is to sign up for my free weekly emails, where we continue to do this work together without shame, without guilt, and without blame. You can get to know more about me, my life, and what I came through so that I can help you too. You're already worth trusting again, my friend, especially by the one person who knows your heart best, and that's you. You can visit the website at www.bouncebackblackwoman.com and sign up, or you can simply check the show notes. There'll be a link in there where you can sign up to receive them directly. And I really, really encourage you to do that, because that is the first step toward healing, my friend. Well, that's it for today, my friend. I really hope this episode inspired, encouraged, or just plain comforted you. If so, please share it with a friend who might be struggling in her own healing journey. And if you take a moment to leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, you'll help other women find encouragement through their heartbreak. Remember that God is holding your hand along this journey, and guess what? I'm holding the other. Life is short, so bounce back, Black woman.